What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Wrestling Rush Hour. Um, this was today was NXT's Tuesday show, and overall, man, it was a really good show. I thought it was exciting. I thought that I think that Shawn Michaels has a better, what I'll say. I think he has a better flow to how he manages the show, and I know that people can say that, well, he's not on the road and all this other stuff, but I think Triple H um, can take some tips from Shawn Michaels in regards to booking the show, and just yeah, that's just my personal opinion. But anyways, getting to the show, we had Ethan Page versus Ricky Saints for the NXT North American Championship. Overall, they've been having a pretty decent feud for the past couple of months. And Ethan Page came away with the win. I didn't think Ethan Page would go over. I thought that Ricky Saints would keep the NXT North American Championship for at least a couple more weeks or months. But looking as to seeing Ethan Page in the ring later on throughout that night, and seeing that he was confronted with one of the luchadors from Worlds Collide, it kind of just made sense that, okay, they want a heel versus a babyface luchador, and whatnot. You know, so I'm guessing the logic there was Ricky Saints is a babyface. We'll have him drop it to a heel, and that way they could, he could face a babyface luchador at Worlds Collide. Overall, it was a good match. I did like the ending. I liked how Ethan Page grabbed the ropes and did kind of like a slingshot into Ricky Saints' throat, which ended up, it was a interesting tactic, because normally, heels, they have, I just like the creative decision and just something different, from a heel getting away with the win versus the typical eye poke or a roll up or holding the ropes and stuff like that. Um, but overall, yeah, I thought it was a really good match, and Ethan Page came out the new NXT North American Champion. The next match was Mike Santana versus Tavion Heights. Um, just a good match. Santana, obviously he has the fans behind him. It was a good match. We saw Santana, just being a respectable babyface, showing some sportsmanship at the end of the match. I think Tavion Heights is he's for sure has main roster uh, um, talent. I think that he could be a future mid card star. He could be a main event star, but personally, just based off of how Triple H books some of the wrestlers, I don't think that would happen. But I can see him being in kind of, the Intercontinental and United States Championship area with like Sheamus and Rusev and wrestlers of that nature. Moving on, we got the backstage segment. Obviously, Fatal Influence looks like they're got some tension going on. Um, I 100% hate Chase U. I hate the whole group. I just think it's horrible. Um, I've never liked them, so I'm just not gonna even comment on it. I don't like their group. It's just kind of like, it's kind of one of those bathroom breaks for me. Um, Jada Parker versus Tatum Paxley. This was a good match, good decent match. Jada Parker ended up winning, and yeah, I think that Jada Parker, sooner or later, they got to put the NXT, Women's Championship on her, or at least the North American Women's Championship on her, or something. I think she's easily main event talent on the women's roster. When you look at Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, and you look at different people who have the it factor, and kind of just an aura and kind of a presence about them, I think she's one of those that has that. Um, and I'm getting sick and tired of Becky Hogan, aka Becky Lynch, and just seeing the same people. So, anyways, we had Trick Williams, basically declaring his dominance as TNA World Champion, sparking a rivalry with Mike Santana. We saw I believe it was prior. There was some type of moment we saw where they're both sizing each other up down in the hallway. I think that was before the main event match with Trick Williams defeating Joe Hendry. And I think when it came to the promo skills or just the promo confrontation, I think Mike Santana kind of. I think he did well. I think he had a good, decent promo. Personally, if I was booking this match or this feud, I wouldn't have Mike Santana win. I know that the fans are behind him, but I would have Trick Williams hold that championship for at least a couple of months, just to get some of the WWE viewers to still keep intriguing them or entice them to want to go watch TNA. So personally, I wouldn't give Santana the belt, because if you do, now Santana's just pretty much going to be on TNA, and I guess technically they can have him random moments show up, on NXT or something like that. But I think it's more beneficial financially and just viewer wise and whatnot to have Trick Williams maintain the champion for at least a little while. But I do think eventually Mike Santana should go over. But I think it should be like maybe WWE lets Mike Santana and Trick Williams defend the TNA championship at SummerSlam or something. Make it an actual big moment, so then that way fans can go, wait, who is that? Who's that guy? And then that way fans can kind of transition over to TNA. That's just my personal opinion. Now, the main event, Jacy Jayne versus Stephanie Vaquer for the NXT Women's Championship. Jacy Jayne ended up winning. I was shocked. They were showing clips of the fans and the crowd. They were shocked. But I do think it was a good move. I think that WWE, specifically Triple H, I think that he wants to bring her up to the main roster. I think that's the reason for this move. I don't really see any other logical reason to have her lose, unless it's in a couple of weeks or maybe a month or so. Maybe they have her just kind of stay off at NXT, and then in a couple of weeks have her make a debut at maybe have her debut at Money in the Bank, or there's something that's going to happen where Stephanie Vaquer is going to be on the main roster. And I honestly, looking at how boring the women's roster is, they need her. Yeah, because I'm not going to lie, this whole like Becky and I forgot the girl, whoever's the women's intercontinental champion, that's a horrible feud. It's really a cringe feud, if you ask me. I just think they should have just never done it. It would have just been more intriguing to just keep them as a tag team, and then later pull the trigger on it, because it's just everything feels forced with that feud. But neither here nor there. Overall, NXT tonight was a really good show in my opinion, and I thought it was way better than Monday Night Raw, which, if you haven't seen my review for that, I titled it the show was a 2-pack of ass, because that's what I thought about the show. I didn't think it was that good. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Did you like the show? Do you like the decision that Stephanie Vaquer lost? And what do you guys think about the Trick Williams situation with the TNA Championship? Should he hold it for a while? Should he just immediately drop it to Mike Santana? I really want to know you guys' thoughts. I will be replying to you in the comments, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.